All I wanted was to help kids in need. That was my ministry, my calling. So the funds were drying up. So, yes, I had to take the drug money to keep the youth center open. What am I supposed to do? I can't close the center and throw the kids out on the street. And then Callista got involved with, like, murder and weapons, and that went too far. She incurred the wrath of some very, very dangerous people.
A large chicken lo mein and 2 orders of spring rolls.
And crab rangoon.
And don't forget the crab rangoon this time.
Our God is a just God, Callista. He favors those who help others. You can choose a better path.
And I suppose that your just God thinks that propping up your youth center with drug money is a better path. I'm not living a lie like you or my dad. And when I turn 18, I'm taking over the business and I can do whatever I want. There's no point in confessing anything or giving to others because there really is no God, no heaven, or any of that crap. This life is all there is, and what I do, it doesn't matter afterwards. What happened?
I think one of your rivals put us both out of business.
We're dead?
I'm afraid so.
Then this must be heaven.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sam Serra, and we're all excited to have you here today. The first item on the agenda is to confirm for each of you that you are dead. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what's in store for you and your soul. Well, the answer to that question can be summed up in 2 words. God's plan. It is the guiding directive behind everything we do. God's plan is the reason you are here and determines where your soul will be reincarnated. Each of these packets contains all the information related to you and your soul's next incarnation in one of the many worlds from our portfolio of universes. Now, don't open your packets until instructed to do so. Each has been specifically prepared for you as an individual, respecting your unique characteristics and the life you led in whatever world you came from.
Mr. Serra?
Yes. Oh. Well, yes. Go right ahead. Every effort has been made to make the assignment of your next life consistent with the expectations acquired during your previous life. Primary consideration is given to God's plan. However, we are not responsible for claims made on our behalf by religious authorities.
Open your folders.
Any questions?
When do we meet God?
I'm always inspired by people who haven't lost their youthful idealism. Okay, that's all the time we have. Please, exit out this door. You'll all be reborn in minutes.
Why am I being reincarnated as a sentient liquid? And where is 51 Pegasi?
Whatever is in the folder is what God orders you to do. You need to follow God's plan.
This doesn't say anything about answering for my actions before God's justice. I spent my life teaching that to people.
Listen, whatever you learned about heaven in divinity school, forget it. We've streamlined everything.
That girl Callista gave her folder back. Where's she going?
She had an alternate proposal for how to fulfill God's plan.
Well, what is God's plan?
That's a mystery. It is not ours to question, but it's our guiding directive, and we obey it.
This isn't how heaven is supposed to be.
You want to appeal?
Yeah.
Order for a clerical appeal and security escort.
I specifically said, don't forget the crab rangoon. I want the crab rangoon. What's it gonna take to get that through your thick skull?
And the fortune cookies?
Right! Don't forget the fortune cookies. Yes, I want the fortune cookies.
This panel has been convened to hear Father Stephen's appeal of his reincarnation as a sentient liquid on 51 Pegasi. Do you wish to make an opening statement?
Yes. I believe...
I don't think you understand the seriousness of the charges filed against you.
What charges?
Moral corruption.
Public nudity and indecency.
Flagrant disregard for God's plan.
First of all...
I think it's time Father Stephen's victims get a chance to speak for once.
Father Stephen plied me with alcohol.
Plied me with alcohol.
Plied me with alcohol.
And forced me to tell him about
My sex life.
My sex life.
my sex life.
I served wine in communion, and people told me personal things in confession all the time, but it wasn't like that. I don't know any of those people.
There's only one way to make sure that Father Stevens is telling the truth. Torture.
Torture!
Law and order.
Lust.
Communists.
Second Amendment right.
Can we just convict this guy?
Spare us your
Deciding if we should lynch Father Stephen sure would be a lot easier if someone would just tell us what God's plan is.
This is divine justice? I did business with a violent drug dealer. You don't call me to account for that. And another thing, you people keep calling me Father Stephen. It's Stevens with an S. Are you even sure you have the right guy?
Got a photo ID?
Here's my driver's license.
Father Stephen's photo ID is inadmissible because he's deceased.
Time for a vote.
Don't feel like a failure, Father Stevens. No one ever wins their appeal. And it's always the same 5-4 vote. I don't know what these appeals have to do with God's plan. Sometimes I'm not even certain there is a plan.
Tell me how to find God. Now!
You don't understand, pal. Nobody sees God.
Then I will be the first.
Can I help you?
I'm here to see God. I want divine justice. Wait, no, I'm one of God's children. You can't throw me out. I want divine justice. I demand divine justice.
Father Stevens.
Callista! What? How?
I'm rich. I figured, why not just buy an indulgence?
What?
I was supposed to be reincarnated as a banana slug somewhere, but thanks to God, I'll become a Yakuza boss instead. Praise the Lord.
And thank you, Callista, for the crab rangoon. You're a lifesaver.
Wait. What's a Yakuza boss?
Nihon mafia da zo. Duh. Have a nice life, Father Stevens.
God?
I'm Satan.
You're God?
Depends. You got something for me?
You took money from Callista. She bribed you.
Well, that makes two of us then, doesn't it? Have a seat, Father Stevens. Tell me, where did you get this idea of divine justice?
Jesus! The teachings of Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Frida! Do we have a file on Jesus? Thank you.
I was celibate my entire life for your glory.
Celibate? What the hell for?
Devotion to you, to the church. Doesn't that count for something? Don't I deserve better than to be a liquid?
I don't know. Maybe. Listen, Father Stevens, this Jesus friend of yours looks like he was a very good man. But whoever told you to live without sex should burn in hell.
All I want is divine justice.
Fine, let's talk divine justice. Callista told me that you were taking money from a violent drug dealer. That's what do you call it?
Sin.
Right, sin. So now, you'll spend your next life struggling to survive in some swamp.
That was her, Callista. That was the drug dealer. Why does she get to choose any life she wants?
Well, that's easy. She helped a man of the cloth raise children out of poverty. She earns a life of wealth and pleasure.
That's your justice, pal.
This doesn't make any sense.
Let me tell you what makes no sense. I manage afterlife services for all life forms in a few billion universes in a remote corner of existence. Every single one of those life forms thinks they are the most intelligent. Every one of them thinks they know God. And every one of them is wrong. They all think that going to heaven means spending eternity in a hedonistic pleasure palace. It's my job to manage it all. And I got too much on my plate to put justice on the agenda.
Everyone is always talking about God's plan. What is your plan?
My plan is to get my kid at daycare after work, make dinner with my wife, and see my therapist twice a week.
Maybe the stuff you learned was important once. The first few gods had some ideas like that, I think.
But that was a long time ago, and things change. Now, please excuse me. You're due for your next life. Security, rebirth escort, and my advice to you when you get there, get yourself laid for once.
Put the phone down, ma'am. I'm Agent Darwin of the Celestial Audit Bureau, my partner Agent Humble. You're under arrest.
Oh, what's the charge?
Bribery, extortion, embezzlement. You've been running this place like a private piggy bank.
Oh, how else am I supposed to make ends meet on my piddling salary?
Routine use of appropriated funds for homes, cars, vacations, gambling.
Those are all just necessary business expenses.
And we got this anonymous complaint.
She will lie about anything. She's deceitful, she's ruthless, cunning, dishonest, do anything for power, will speak dishonestly, reckless, a congenital liar, sorely lacking in qualifications.
They're just nitpicking.
Your reign is over, God. Time to face justice.
Please excuse my partner. Hubble gets a little excited sometimes. Why don't you make it easy on yourself? Come with us, sign a confession. Maybe I could cut you a break.
Go ahead, take me away, throw me in your dungeon, see where it gets you. Get up! Nobody move, or this guy gets it!
You can't get away with this, God. The forces aligned against you are too powerful.
I've got a lot of powerful friends too, Miss Celestial Audit Bureau flunky!
This is a bad idea, God. You're better off trying for a plea bargain.
Thank you for your sage counsel, Satan, but I have a different outcome in mind. Everyone laughed at me when I took this backwater job. Well, I'm done taking this humiliation. Darwin, I'd like you to explain this to the Bureau.
She's gone. What happens to her soul now?
Now, why'd she do that for?
That's funny. I thought she'd go splat.
Ooh, I could really use a stiff drink now.
Congratulations, guys. God is dead. Nice little power vacuum you've created. And I suppose you have a replacement god picked out?
Our directive says to offer you the job.
Haven't you read my contract? I have a no demotions clause.
What do we do now?
Oh, no, not me.
You went to divinity school, right? It'll be a snack.
I'm trying to be a deity.
It's not that hard. You're just God. You don't have any actual responsibilities.
To be honest, God never did any real work, and neither did the guy that she replaced. You could clean the toilets every once in a while, it'll be a big improvement.
Your first call to action!
Hello? Uh-huh. Hang on 1 second. It's a guy going to hell. He wants me to overturn his damnation. What about the appeals panel?
God handles damnations. What does he do?
He said he was an accountant.
Just what I need. I'll take him.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid I'm going to have to deny your appeal. Sir. No, it's just that your case doesn't... Sir, if you just listen... Oh, screw you, buddy. You're going to hell.
Our work here is done. Time to move on to our next assignment.
Wait, I need more information.
Now you're all set. You'll do a great job.
But I don't even know where you guys come from or who's in charge. If I'm God, I want to know who the supreme ruler of all creation is.
Wouldn't we all?